Hang on, I'm going into chat. Hi, this is Matthew, and this is the Skill Floor Podcast. We're doing an hour cast tonight, hoping to make it look real good. I'm changing the name right now. Podcast a go-go. What should be the sun? Something sun and moon related.
Nightman.
Ooh-ah.
So sneaky and
Did you
mean.
get sun or moon?
I got moon,
Gotcha.
but I'm playing sun right now.
Because he already beat it. He's upset he hasn't beaten it a second time before we beat it once.
Time to speed run it.
Well, I'm gonna speed run moon like crazy. Like it's not gonna be. That's not gonna be funny. I'm actually taking my time with the first playthrough.
I want to enjoy it.
So yeah, I mean I'm enjoying it. I could enjoy it faster, but I don't want to burn myself out on it because that usually happens. I just play it really quickly and don't play it again.
Okay.
But yeah, my friend bought both versions, and since he's only going to play one at a time, I borrowed the version I didn't have. I'm going to beat that, get all the exclusives, and then transfer them over to Moon, and then play Moon like completely.
Yeah, so I really like the bat on the cover of Moon, which is why I picked Moon.
Yeah, me too. Well, I like his typing better too.
What's his statement?
It's like
Sync.
I forgot.
Thanks.
It's like what, Steel Psychic or something? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm a little.
I don't know.
What's the sun one?
It's like Fire something.
Fire Steel, I thought.
Something
It's
like
Fire
that.
Cat.
Fire Psychic.
Fire
I
Cat?
don't know.
It's like major operations.
I already have a
Cat,
Fire
like,
Cat. Deal me in with something else.
Extreme diarrhea all over the bed sheets.
All right.
Doing it for you.
Nah.
Oh, bummer. I feel like I touched a soft spot.
I didn't get it, Mutiny Teddy, because I had things to do, real life problems, like people breaking into my home. So
Yeah, it was nuts. I can't believe you had to run out on that. Okay, so if it's any consolation, that game we got absolutely fucked. That was like the worst game we ever played. Did you get the Heroes of the Storm Genji skin?
I haven't done it yet. I mean,
Are you
I have.
planning on it?
Yeah, I have to like. I have a while to do it, so there's no rush.
See, I'm mad that you're
I don't play Genji too, so
doing
I'm
it in
not.
such a healthy like. Oh yeah, I've got a long time. I can probably break up the games.
one
yeah.
per day.
Yeah, like they'll do like
I mean,
one per day.
I'd rather just play competitive than like play Heroes of the Storm.
Which is actually pretty fun.
Competitive Overwatch.
Can you get it by doing competitive?
No,
Overwatch?
I'm just saying I'd rather do that than get a skin that I don't really use because I don't use Genji at all.
Yeah, I have zero minutes on Genji, so.
I mean, I can play him and I know I'd be good at him, but like there's like that learning curve that you just have to keep playing until you get good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
by the way,
I don't want to.
mic tilt so that it's parallel to your mouth.
Okay, give me a second.
No. We're thinking that it. So what it was is I got a call that it sounded like someone opened up the screen door and then closed it again, which leads to the thought that, oh, maybe someone tried to open the screen door and think, oh, maybe the scrub lords left the main door unlocked.
Yeah.
Checked the main door and nothing happened, and they were like, fuck, all right, I gotta get out while I'm still good, right?
Yeah.
I only have 9 bullets. I'm gonna make them count.
Okay.
I only have one hilarious potato sack with $sign written on it, and I gotta make it count for whatever I'm gonna steal. That was the fear. That was what I drove home worried about.
Expecting were you expecting to get there and like door was kicked open?
Yeah,
and books
actually.
were like thrown out everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't brake for any stop lights or stop signs. I just drove home with the thing in the back of my mind being, I don't have my
trusty iron pipe.
No. I don't have
carry a
insurance,
knife
and I
with
don't
me.
have my registration in my car.
Oh.
Like I have insurance, but it's through Esurance, so it's digital.
Yeah.
It's like a
So
PDF.
it's on your phone.
I don't know if they'll take that.
They do.
Okay, good.
In
Well, then I don't
California.
have my registration. That's, I don't know, somewhere. So I was afraid that if I got stopped, not only would me saying, officer, please, I need to get home, make sure no one's breaking in, wouldn't compel them to like, all right, just get a move on, but drive safe. But that they would also find out I don't have my registration and then take my fucking car, kind of deal.
Let's go take metric.
And the way that I was able to lull myself into sleep was the thought that it was probably just some fat ass cat or dog trying to get food. Because I think on Wednesday when I got home from work, there was a big fat gray cat that ran away as soon as I showed up. Because one of the cats that we have, the mom of my kittens, is more outside, almost entirely outside. because she turned on her kittens and now like bitch slaps them whenever she sees them. Yeah, no joke. I mean it. Like she'll hiss, growl at them, and then she'll like fucking swipe at them, and she's basically become an outside cat.
Okay.
And that means that we have to feed her outside, so she doesn't pick fights with her kids. So we're imagining that at some point she's really picky when she eats.
Yeah.
She's really picky at what time she feels like eating. So we're hoping that it was just there was food outside at some point.
And she just
another cat knows that we leave food outside frequently enough, was checking for food, checked the door, and walked away.
Okay.
That's the hope.
Yeah. Have you ever dealt with a break-in or anything like that before?
Kinda. In high school, we had someone try to break into my dad's car.
Okay, that's yeah. It seems,
it's a little different.
Yeah, but still,
So he went out with his gun, and they weren't to be found. So good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I sleep well at night knowing that my dad had a gun.
Nice.
Because if anything happened, it was just like.
Of course, Dad's gonna take care of it. He's
gonna take care of it. I'm like,
rifle.
Yeah.
So two spreads. The spread of the shotgun and the K to D spread at the end of the round.
It was this guy. So I actually heard him like, I heard the car alarm go off, and then I just hear like the alarm turn off, and then I hear my dad run down the stairs, and then I was sleeping in the garage.
One gunshot.
No, I was sleeping in the garage, and then I hear, because I'm right next to the door, so I hear him come out the door, and I just hear the gun cock, like, and I'm just like, oh shit, shit's gonna go down. And like, luckily, no one was there when he got there. Like, they must have ran off as soon as the alarm went off. And I was like, I'm glad my dad didn't have to like shoot anyone.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things where it's like, cool, thank you for protecting the house. I don't think I would have been able to look at my father the same way anymore. Like if I knowing he had killed someone, like if I had walked outside, like saw like blood splatter over the car and like the window broken, like that would be really traumatic. And like that's not something you can bring up like over like dinner. You guys sit down.
What if he looks at you right and he's like, I did this for you. This is to keep you safe.
I would have been all right. I think that's something that like you like prepare yourself. Just in case, like mentally prepare yourself that it's a possibility.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come to as a shock when it, when it's like happening. Like I was just like, oh shit, this is gonna happen. Like,
yeah, this is what my life currently is.
Not to mention,
you deal with the fallout later.
If everything else, just a quick call on an interesting thing. So quick segue before I get to the point that applies to this. You guys know. Running joke, stormtroopers suck ass at shooting, right? Their aim is the worst since they're the running gag, right? Stormtroopers can't hit anything to save their lives.
Sure.
And a article I read tied it up kind of nicely as an explanation as why that happens. It's an excuse, right? It's like, let's go in and let's make an excuse for bad cinematography. But the excuse that they came up with was that stormtroopers are people, and they have helmets and suits which dehumanize them, which causes them to look non-human. And there's a real actual thing that happens, which says that when we're forced to shoot someone else, when we're forced to shoot another human being, we hesitate. We miss. We do anything at all in order to avoid making that decision to take someone's life, kind of thing. It's why things like firing squads, they give a blank. Yeah. Right, so it's like you can go home and be like, I'm sure I got the blank. I didn't see no bullets flying from my gun, kind of thing. So, in that same respect, in the respect that it was stormtroopers suck ass at firing because all the rebels had their faces exposed, so they were more human, and they couldn't bring themselves to plug them with a plasma shot. The rebels had no qualms with that because they were helmeted and couldn't see their faces. And like, this is just some nameless whatever.
So you think the stormtroopers were just like, I don't want to kill these people. They look so human, and the rebels were just like, hey, these fucking robots coming out of here nowhere.
Can I interject here?
Yeah, go for it.
So, I don't really agree with that. I've heard a theory that's probably the most plausible theory as to why they miss so much.
Eye holes don't actually let them see out.
So first off, in the opening scene of the movie, episode 4, you see the stormtroopers break into the rebel ship, and there's a shootout, and every single rebel's dead, and there's no dead stormtroopers. So obviously they are good marksmen. They can shoot.
Right.
And the reason why they were missing after that is because they didn't want to actually kill Luke Skywalker, because they wanted to turn him to the dark side.
Oh,
So they were
shit.
purposefully missing, because if they kill Luke and it's just like, dude, you just killed
yeah.
like
and if
one
they
of
kill
the
his friends too, it's like he's gonna get pushed farther away from the.
Could
from
be.
Darth
So
Vader,
that's
yeah.
why they're trying to bring him to the dark side. That's why they would purposefully missing.
Yeah.
But then again, that's also just,
Right.
coming up
It's
with the
also just
story.
like at the root. So we can rationalize it, but at the end of the day, like stormtroopers miss because if Luke Skywalker died, that's the end of the movie.
Yeah,
right?
well, yes. But I mean, they're also, the Empire was trying to turn him and trying to find him
Right,
the whole
right.
time. So like that was the most plausible theory as to why their accuracy was so bad.
No, that's cool. I like that one.
And
Yeah.
I don't think I've read a better theory than that one. And if you can think of something else, go ahead and let me know.
So I always thought it was like a force thing, that because the scene that's really famous for all of them missing all take place in like a lot of them take place on the Death Star, and then like a few of them when they're in the Cloud City. I forget the name of it.
Mind bending the trajectory of plasma bullets.
Yeah. So what I thought was like
It's the midi-chlorians, dude.
old Ben was metachloric, like cut open his body and sprayed blood everywhere to force the bullets away.
I see.
And I thought that was like him like protecting everyone, and then when he died on the Cloud City, like that's when like you see actual shootouts start happening, and then like actually taking cover and stuff.
Whoa! Cloud City? What?
The city that's like floating in the clouds.
Right. Who died in Cloud City?
No one, but that's where you see like, Han walks out and sees Darth Vader and starts shooting.
Oh,
and-
okay.
and then
Sorry.
stuff actually
I
starts
thought you said
happening.
that Ben died on Cloud City. It's like, whoa, man, that's
No,
like
no,
two
no.
movies later.
No,
One
this-
movie later.
yeah.
Sorry, one movie later.
doesn't he die on the Death Star in the fourth one?
Yeah, in the
In the first one, yeah.
New
Yeah.
Hope.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, he gets cut down by
Yeah,
Vader.
by Darth Vader, and that's when things really start to get bad for them. I think is after that, and then he shows up later on, a blue ghost.
I think the best theory is the one
Why
that
does the Force make you blue? Can someone like what? I don't understand.
it's because you're
Blue's
actually
good.
a hologram.
Okay.
The Force turns you into a permanent hologram. That's your living hell.
Ugh.
No, I think the best theory is the one that Robot Chicken put out, which was that Darth Vader didn't really have any Force powers, but they didn't want to get a lightsaber in the face, so all of the Imperial agents
Just
who
play
worked for
along.
him.
Let him choke you.
Yeah, no. Just okay, they had the bit was they were having a seminar, right? It was like, all right, so this is what you're gonna do. Vader's gonna hold out his hand and he's gonna start looking like he's choking you, and you're gonna act like you're choking, choke, and you're dead. And you come back, we put on a mustache, we give you a new name, and you go back into the rotation, and we're good.
I've died like 5 times thanks to Vader. I've run out of facial hairstyles. I just started shaving my head, and that's just what I got to do now. Any further, I'll have to start wearing hats, and I don't like hats. They make my head itchy, and it's hard to get the big thing around it. But I guess I also like the Darth Vader being insidious, because that's one thing I think that the fourth movie doesn't do well, is like you don't really get the sense that Darth Vader is this horrible thing, horrible figure, at least when I watched it. And it might be because I'm too young. I was too young to really appreciate oh, this dude's evil.
Well, it's because he never does anything evil. The one person who really resonated evil from the get-go was the Grand Moff, who blew up used the Death Star to blow up Alderaan in front of Leia. He's yeah, bitch, what are you gonna do about that? And it's just you just murdered billions of people. What is this?
She jumps on Tinder and it's oh, look, there's no one around me.
And
Bummer.
of course, you can't really escalate beyond that, because did you see the new one, the 7th one?
Yeah.
Their way of escalating was 5 planets got taken out in one shot. Right? And it's all right,
Well,
I guess.
Yeah. I don't want to jump into a
Star Wars.
into
Right.
oh yeah, this is a Star Wars discussion, because at the core of this, there's a desire for me to talk about a few things.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean
No,
to segue
it's-
so hard, but
I mean, whatever. We even have the board game out, so people
Maybe
are coming
that's
in right
why
now and are yeah,
we're
we're
thinking about it.
subconsciously being tricked by this game, which looks really fun.
So one other thing that was interesting to note, that I think that the theory that you said is false, is in the 7th movie they confirmed that they're their what they did like gene therapy on them or something like that.
Right.
So like no one's ever gotten out of line. So it would be weird if like they hesitated, because I'm pretty sure they just don't. Because in the intro, they just slaughtered the village.
Yeah.
And no one hesitated except Finn.
Yeah.
And he was the only one.
Yeah, and it was because he was like recruited or something or some whatever excuse. But no, you're right. In fact, I believe what it was is that the stormtroopers were the remnants of whatever clones remained. Obviously, this was after they introduced the second trilogy, right? Clones and stuff, but it eventually ended up being that the remaining clones from the Clone Wars were eventually just turned into stormtroopers. So they were already like bred literally to be.
I thought they were still doing that.
Machines of war.
Still, like,
yeah, that's.
They said that in the movie that he's like, I can go back to a clone army if you'd like, and they're like, no, my troops are good, So I'm really glad that in episode 7 they got
touch upon that.
Yeah, I'm really glad they.
Anything that makes the animated Clone Wars series canon.
The good one, right?
Yeah, the good one. The one that was short and made by Genndy Tartakovsky.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like amazing. Like for me, when I was young, like watching that, I'm like, I get Star Wars now. Because before it was like, a bunch of old white people waving light sticks around. And, whoa.
That was like the best thing that came out of the prequels.
Yeah, easily. And it was so fucking Cartoon Network, like out of nowhere. They're just like, we're gonna start doing this Clone Wars series. It's like, what? And then you see Mace Windu like force push like 1,000 robots away, and I'm just like, oh shit, this is so good. Yeah,
especially because at the same time, like Samurai Jack was going on. I think it was either going on or it just ended.
No, I think it was just going into like the special where they're about to go. He was going to actually fight Apu back in his time. It was like I think it was like a prequel series that they were about to release, but don't quote me on that.
Oh shit, that's right. Samurai Jack's coming back.
Yeah. Also, Mutiny Teddy wants to know if you just jumped on Wikipedia to look that up, or if you just have an encyclopedic knowledge of Star Wars.
No, actually, my Star Wars knowledge isn't as good as my friends, so it's just.
Maybe do you guys just have dick measuring contests that have sharpened you up over the years? So
Kinda.
now it's just like you're better than the average bear.
Yeah, I've been. I have like a pretty good memory when it comes to like funny stuff. And
Fair.
like just like things that I'm interested in. And so like
clone therapy. That's
so I have like when it comes to like anime, I know exactly like what episode something happens, and like those like giant like Bleach and Naruto and One Piece, like what episode and what happens in this, and like I'm just like okay.
So what you just admitted to is like, yeah, I have this brain that's really good at encyclopedically storing and categorizing information.
Not just storing it, but recalling it.
Yeah, and have like impressive recall. And instead of using that to say, read through the encyclopedia, go on game shows, and game the system that way, I have decided to participate in Star Wars dick measuring contests with my friend.
Don't forget anime too.
and anime, yeah.
Hey, one thing's interesting, dude.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand. Okay. Yeah. Samurai Jack's coming back.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think
they said late this year or next year, so it'll probably be next year sometime.
Dude, if it's next, so 2016 has taken a lot out of a lot of people in our generation. I think a lot of people are feeling extra deflated, with all the current events. Something that we might talk about later if we have time for it, but 2017 is gonna be fucking banging. Like the very beginning, we got Rick and Morty coming out, like either end of 2016 or beginning of 2017. The next Samurai Jack's coming out. Like, I don't know. That alone, like Rick and Morty alone, makes time good. Like when I was in India, like depressed as fuck because all I had to eat was various kinds of masala. The thought of Rick and Morty running at the same time, and all the Americans would get together and watch Rick and Morty in my room. That was awesome. So that's exciting for me. I'm pumped for that. I'm real pumped for that. I'm Captain Falcon leg pumps ready for that.
On that subject, talk me through your experience with accounting.
Yeah. Oh, so Phil, if we have the Vive mostly set up. Try accounting when we're done with this, because
okay.
It's so. Do you know Squanch Tendo?
No.
So Justin Roiland, Rick and Morty, and other things like Rick and Morty, made a game company called Squanch Tendo.
Cool.
And they released their first like prototype of stuff they want to do, and it's called Accounting. It's ridiculous. It's so funny. And I'm gonna try and keep things sort of spoiler free because at this point you actually have more spoilers than I do. Last time we met, I was sort of inoculated because I prepared myself for Westworld spoilers, but I'm now 2 weeks behind. So
I'm 2 weeks behind too.
Oh, okay, sweet. All right.
I missed last week, and my friends were like, "Just wait till the next week. Don't even watch it."
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I'm catching up.
Okay. I'm in a similar boat, and then Sun and Moon, you might have like a bit of a leg up because I hear that there are actual spoilers, and I'm actually pretty taken with the story. But anyway, back we'll get to that. Back to Accounting. Accounting is like it's obviously a technical demo, the same way a lot of VR games are. But it's a technical demo that has more personality than anything else, obviously, from Justin Roiland. It kind of runs through a series of mechanics. It's got a thing where you play some instruments. It's got a things where you like pick stuff up and throw things. I'll say that it's as close to being in a Rick and Morty episode as I think you can get, which is delightful. And when I was playing it, I actually had like a ton of fun.
Is it short?
Yeah. So it's really short. You can probably do it in about 10 minutes.
It was free, right?
Yeah, totally free. Because what they're really trying to do is just be like,
proof of concept.
Yeah, they're like, does this work? Do people enjoy this? The answer is fuck yeah, we enjoy it. Like, obviously Justin Roiland isn't watching in the audience because he's hopefully busy working on Rick and Morty. If he's not, get the fuck back to work. But if he is watching, like, that was like probably one of the most fun VR experiences I've had in such a short amount of time. Like, I was genuinely enjoying myself a lot more than I would in Rec Room. There's lots of like Roiland style, like just ranting, where he's just like, "Fuck you, man! This is my place. You destroyed my city. Fuck you!" They're like, "Why did you do that? The place is on fire now. Fuck you! This used to be mine." Stuff like that, and it's really good. Yeah.
What did he do before Rick and Morty?
He was, what was it? He was involved in something. Community. He did Community.
The one with Donald Glover and okay.
Yeah, that was his thing. And you can sort of see, like, you can tell when he left, but he was a writer for that. And Rick and Morty, I think, was born out of like a frustration with Community and how that was unfolding.
Well, because that was more not a family show, but it was more TV.
Yeah,
it was TV.
Yeah,
and there was some serious limits with what you
they
can
could
do on TV.
But if we can't, so like with Rick and Morty, like
Adult Swim is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Adult Swim is literally like the best thing on TV, the only thing on TV.
I don't know. I think they could do with some cohesion.
Rick and Morty?
No, not Rick and Morty. Adult Swim.
Oh.
Like, as like a publisher, I think that there's benefit to be had with like having coherent and clarity in storytelling. But other channels do that. No channel does what Adult Swim does. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, one of the most unique shows that's ever been birthed on television, but also a show that if I watch for too long, I realize I'm not only not getting anything out of it, it's fucking up my insides and my emotional concept of self. Because seeing Carl die or get like molested or get abused over and over again has actively fucked me up as a person, especially when I was exposed to it at such a young age.
Right. It's why my saving grace was that when I was exposed to Adult Swim for the first time, it was Futurama was the first thing that came on.
Yeah.
So right before going to
show
bed,
that's tacitly moral and
Futurama is like the best. It's my favorite show, hands down.
Really?
Futurama.
You never watched it on Fox when it was airing?
Huh. I also got it secondhand. I watched a bit of it maybe. I was like, oh cool, I like The Simpsons, I like Futurama, but I was so young.
I think I watched all of it on Fox.
Really?
Like when it was airing, so this was a while ago.
Yeah.
I've maybe seen out of, give me a number of Simpsons episodes. Any number.
300.
300? Okay. Out of 300 The Simpsons episodes that there exists right now in the world,
I've maybe one. Would you have been like...
Out of one The Simpsons episode, I've only seen maybe a minute.
What?
Yeah. Like,
of Simpsons?
Of Simpsons? Okay, so going
with
your number...
So if we scale the entire series down to one, he's seen...
A minute.
1
maybe.
minute of one. No units. He's seen 1 minute of one something.
I don't know how to comprehend
Okay,
that.
if there were, I know there's more. But if there were only 300 The Simpsons episodes, I've only seen like 5.
Okay.
You should probably get on that.
I've been wanting to.
I don't think so.
No, okay. I see what he's saying because it's been going on for 20 years.
No,
20
just watch
seasons.
the good season. Just go like
okay,
1
fair.
to 12 or whatever. Once it starts getting bad, that's all you need.
So here's the thing: is that I have no frame of reference for what Simpsons was because I only kind of watched it. I watched it pretty slipshod when it was new, and when I started sort of like trying to watch it because like Futurama's over, I need a surrogate in my life, and Rick and Morty wasn't out, and I was watching Simpsons. It was like doing worse South Park, and I don't know. If
Was it current Simpsons?
Yeah.
Because that's your problem.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Current
Compared
Simpsons
to, like,
compared to old Simpsons.
yeah.
Current Simpsons is like what every, current TV show is now. Like
it's still ongoing, right?
Yeah, it's so bad now. I watched an episode and it was so all over the place. By the end of it, I was like, that was it? Like, I don't even know what I watched. It was so bad. And there's a couple episodes here and now that are actually watchable. But when you're comparing it to like good Simpsons, like the old seasons,
Fair.
the new seasons are just awful and you should not watch them.
Fair
and that's what I say. That's what I like to tell people is when they watch The Simpsons, just start from season 1 and just go to like season 10, 11, or 12 or something.
And stop.
That's when it gets bad. That's when I couldn't start watching anymore. I just stopped. Like I
Start
started.
to like cook up some anxiety. Like I gotta put The Simpsons on. Man.
Yeah, every now and then I'll throw in
Dude.
one of the old episodes. Like
Yeah.
just go back to like one of the old seasons.
Because I mean, they have to be good because that's where
They're
Futurama
really
came from.
good.
So of course,
I mean, it was my childhood. I watched Simpsons growing
Yeah.
up, like since I was like 5 or 6. I watched Simpsons almost
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Coming home from school, I'd watch it, and then, I stopped after a while because it just didn't get, maybe when I was like 12 or 11 or 13 or something, I just stopped because it was not funny anymore.
And then you
And
started
then I
reading
picked it up.
books on Star Wars trivia.
No,
no,
I
we
picked
watched
it up
the movie
recently.
frame by frame.
Okay.
I picked it up recently, like a couple years back, where I just got a torrent that was like 26 seasons of The Simpsons. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start watching it from the
Yeah.
beginning, and it was glorious. Like the first, like 10 seasons are like really good, like really good, and now, like once you get to like 11 or 12 or something, it just starts going downhill from there, and you can just stop. Like I just stopped. I lost interest at that point, and just
I see.
I
Yeah.
don't feel like watching it again anymore, unless it's one of the old episodes.
Now, what about your experience with South Park? Because when I was, when did people watch it? When was it
I don't
hilarious
know.
for
I
you to
mean-
be like a 13, 14-year-old watching South Park? Was it that age, 13, 14?
I started watching when I was like young, like 7.
Okay.
So it was
So,
like
even further back.
when you're that young,
Yeah.
it's just hilarious.
Right.
And anything's funny. And I never watched South Park like consistently, like from season to season, like all the other shows I watch. So I don't know exactly when it started going downhill. But there's like later seasons I've watched have not been too great. Like all the current stuff that's airing. I mean, I know every now and then there's a good episode and some parts are funny, but like for the most part, it just feels like what's happening to Family Guy, what's happening to The Simpsons, that's what's happening to South Park. It's just, I don't know, they're running out of ideas or something, and it's just not funny.
Well, so South Park has always been time sensitive. Phil, so Mutiny Teddy brought this up where he's like, I wouldn't watch Simpsons. It seems it's time sensitive. It's like related to what's happening in the current day. Like for example, one of the most recent South Park episodes, they had to rewrite it because Trump won the presidency and they thought Hillary was gonna win. So like they had to completely rewrite the episode because their episode is so into like what's happening
yeah,
today.
I know
Yeah.
how South Park does that.
Yeah, and so it's like, as long as it's able to riff on that, I think it's doing what it does well. And the bits of the current season that I've been watching have been really funny.
So you're saying it's a topical show.
Yeah,
If watched out of context, it's not as funny.
absolutely, it's not as funny. It's
Okay.
it's just random. Like it becomes the things about Family Guy that I dislike, which is like all the jokes are just like context removed. Like, isn't this wacky? Like kind of thing where
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, it is wacky, but I'm not really. There's no content. There's no like value in that. Whereas
Okay.
like some of the stuff that Simpsons does is like super insightful and clever. Like I think of the gif of the cheap people in the bar and the people in the church. and the apocalypse is happening, and they swap. Like stuff like that, where it's like, oh, that's delightful, yeah.
That's so good.
It's like these like really really clever visual gags. When you've got Family Guy, and this is like this is obvious straw man, but there's that bit about like the Vietnamese guy going to the Vietnam Memorial and being like, scoreboard, got you, and it's like I don't want to say you're better than this because I know you're not, but like
that sounds so bad.
Yeah, this is low. This is so low. I remember watching that this was like I was like 16 and I was just like, oh, this is not right. Like what? This is wrong. What happened to the episode where like you made your own state and it was like something, like there was value in it, or like the musical numbers that Futurama did so well. Where did those go? They're gone. Like stuff like that. I don't know. But,
I feel like Futurama went down the drain too once it got picked up by Comedy Central.
It did. But I think that is like I think Futurama did run like a natural life course.
Yeah.
And we just like bring it back. Like, and I was part of this too. Like every single Comic-Con, I would go to that panel. And
the Bring It Back Futurama panel?
It was like they would have Futurama panels when the show wasn't around anymore.
Mm.
And then the one where they announced the movies was nuts. That was like fucking like one of the best panels I've ever been to. And then it stopped. And then or rather it restarted and it stopped being good is what I was wanted to get to. It just didn't have magic anymore, I guess. So
I think there's something to be said about maybe the way you get things to be really organic and better is when you've got this wall that you're not allowed to cross, right? Like when they got picked up by Comedy Central, I remember that there was a lot of in-jokes was like, we can say things like dick and ass now kind of thing, right? But before when they were on Fox, like they couldn't. They were really heavily censored because it came on at times when kids were so up, you couldn't say or do or talk about a lot of stuff kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I think part of me wants to feel that maybe when you have to work with a filter, when you have to work with like, all right, there's certain things we can't really like, we have to find clever ways to get around it. We have to reference something so that there's like some brain function going on between our audience and what we're portraying. You have to connect with it on an intellectual level. We have to say something so that you're like, all right, I'm logged in. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'm crossing that bridge of empathy.
So it comes down to the writing.
Yeah,
it's just
always
good writing.
Yeah,
good writers, they come out with smart jokes.
Because don't get me wrong, if I rewatched it right now from beginning to end, if I spent a week just rewatching Futurama, I'd probably feel the same way, right? I'm sure the later seasons were wacky and funny in a different way, but I'd feel like maybe not as good. I liked the first season finale, the Devil's Hands Are Out of Playthings. No,
oh,
yeah, the Devil's Hands Are Out of Playthings, which was my favorite episode. When they first thought that they were canned, but there is it one or two? I think there's one that was really really good, which is when they decide, you know what, let's make like a 3-parter where we're going to try and explain a concept that can't be explained under normal terms by accessing different media. So the first part of the episode was then like old-timey cartoons, and it was to explain a color that couldn't be seen because everything was in grayscale. So you just added a different shade of gray. And he's like, oh, wow, that color's magnificent. I've never seen such a color. It's like a 7th color, but it's something you couldn't achieve because we can't achieve another color in our current spectrum. So it was done in grayscale, and that was funny. And then they did like old-timey video game pixels, and like, all right, we're going to zoom into like the most basic unit in the universe, and it was a pixel, right? And it was like, all right, there it is. The pixel explains everything.
Okay.
This is it. And then they went to like a Japanese anime, and it's like, emotion that can't be explained by filming it, by capturing it. It has to be done in stop motions, like it has to be done in still, like, whoa, he's like, he's moving so fast. It was like, wow, it's funny because it was a clever use of different styles of cartoon and animation.
I guess the gag that I can connect to with that is like when Leela has the tattoo that's so high def that it can't show up on the televisions that are like from our year, and then they show it and it's just a blur, and I was just like, that's stuff like that is like, it's like jokes like that are like what I want from television. Scrubs had a number of like wacky things, but it also had a lot of it was wacky because it was also had a lot of deep emotionally profound moments. And
Too many.
Yeah.
I found myself crying.
You know, Simpsons is not a show that does that.
Sometimes there's a couple good episodes like that.
Yeah. And Futurama too, but for the most part, it's like upbeat, and I guess Mutiny Teddy brought up that like, you know, Lisa is like such a sad character, for the same reason that Frankie Munoz and
right in Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm Middle is like super sad. It's like the family is like ridiculous and stupid, and they're like super smart, and know that their situation sucks and are like powerless to do anything about it. I think that there's a lot of sadness to be taken from that if you want to delve into it that way, but it's a show at the end of the day, as long as you can build up that wall. I was gonna say, like, shows that have a hard time doing that with, like, putting up that barrier, like Trailer Park Boys is a show that like makes me actively depressed.
I love that show so much.
It's hilarious. It's super funny.
It's funny you guys bring that one up, because the one I was going to bring up was It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Basically the same show.
Yeah.
I've heard.
I actually think Trailer Park Boys is worse. Always Sunny goes out of its way to be like this is dumb and horrible, but like stupid. Like some of the stuff that happens in Trailer Park Boys is like that's someone's life. Like that comes from someone's experience, and I know it does.
Yeah, one of my friends is like, I can't watch that show because I used to live in Nebraska and it reminds me of people I knew. He's like, I can't. I don't find that funny because I lived it. I'm like, oh, I see. No wonder you don't like this show.
Yeah.
I have to admit, though, I think my favorite episode of It's Always Sunny is one of the more recent ones. Like the most recently available season on Netflix, actually, which I rewatched it just the other day. When I'm like here and I'm working alone, right? I need something to put on the other monitor, and it's the episode called Charlie Work, which is when they're audited by the health inspector, and at some point it transitions to a single camera filming where they don't cut. It just follows Charlie from beginning of the health inspector showing up till the moment that they leave, and it's one of the most stressful things I've ever seen, because it starts with, you see every other episode like, oh, Charlie's he's the idiot. He's like, what the fuck's he talking about, right? He needs help that can't be found. And then he gets to the restaurant and he opens the door and they're doing like some sort of chicken scam.
Chicken and steak scam with air miles.
And just the process with which he goes to do everything in order to pass the inspection, right? And he keeps doing like the thing where he passes by one of the bar stools and he slams it on the floor and is like, what's he doing? Like, what's the end game to this? And he keeps doing that. He has Frank paint himself black, so he hides in the basement and he holds a recorder. And earlier he had gone with Dee to check out, I guess, the pitch of the carbon monoxide detector. So Frank's just standing in the basement when the lady checks it. She presses the button, and all you hear is the note. But as they're walking back up the stairs, you see Frank open up his eyes, and he's just like all black with a recorder in his hand. And he was the one who played the note because it was broken, because it was carbon monoxide flooding the goddamn basement, right?
Oh, God.
Or like at the beginning, she's checking the bathrooms, and the last bathroom, I think, is clogged because Frank flushed his shoes, and he can't have her checking it. So he has it locked, and he goes and he sees Mac, and he says, "All right, start stuffing these chickens in the air vents. Count to 30, and then groan into the vent, and then say I'm sorry." It's like, what? Yeah, just do it. And he's counting down. And 27, 26, 25. Goes to the bathroom. I'm like, all right. So as you can see, bathrooms they're pretty okay. Maybe not the best, but they're doing all right. All right, let's check this last bathroom. And then you hear like a girl like, like, oh, whoa, man. Maybe let us know that you're in there using the thing. Man, a little bit of courtesy or something. He goes like, I'm sorry. Super unconvincingly. It's like, yeah, I guess you're gonna have to go check the ladies' bathroom because it's because this one is being taken up as one. It's brilliant. It's the best thing, right? And then the episode ends, and the whole reason it was slamming down the bar stool is because Dee sits on it, and it falls, and it breaks. And everyone's laughing. Everyone's losing their mind. And then Matt goes like, Dennis, you did this, right? Like, yeah, I guess I did. And everyone's just laughing. Just it zooms in on Charlie's face like, what the fuck? This whole episode totally... This moment invalidates this episode and my existence up to this point.
It was like the only episode where Charlie's the sane one and everyone's just like insane. And it's just like, oh shit, Charlie is like, he has all his shit down and everybody is just like fucking him and he's like telling them what to do. It's pretty good. I really like that episode too.
I gotta watch more Always Sunny. I have such a hard time doing it for too long. Oh boy. Yeah, but so I guess
Sun and Moon now.
Yeah,
Are we ready?
It's what's next.
Ready to open the floodgates?
So I'll say that. So Pokemon Sun and Moon. We actually stopped at a Target before work the day it came out. To pick it up, and the whole day at work I just want to play. I just want to play it. Finally, like boot it up, and you hear this like gloriously Hawaiian like song. I didn't know anything about the game going in. Really, realistically, like I knew it took place on Hawaii, but I didn't know how much they were going to commit to the Hawaii theme, because it's Hawaiian as shit.
Oh yeah,
it's like the
professor's like, "What's up, cousin? How you doing?"
Yeah, like he talks like super islandy. Is a descript. Like I don't know how to describe it other than he's like, I don't know. This is a dangerous territory to be in for race reasons, I guess. But like, just the way he sounds is like very Samoan. Island. I don't know.
That's racist, dude.
Island.
Yeah, you picked the worst possible one you could have said.
What should I have gone with?
I'm not even gonna give you an answer.
Yes.
Just shake your head. You fucked up.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I'm disappointed in me too. I shouldn't have given in. But yeah, so going, looking at the looking at the blah blah blah. Fuck. God damn it! I can't talk today. But looking at the way the game plays out, everything's super cutesy and colorful, which I love. Pokemon, obviously, a world about happiness and joy.
This one more so.
Yeah, like it's
the
so
happiest.
happy. Your rival is annoyingly perky. That's one thing I actually I'm annoyed by. Is like how like, woo, like how excited.
You just got my face stomped.
Yeah,
Thanks,
dude.
Yeah, you're the
You want
best.
to get some food? Oh man, I can't wait to eat after that.
So let's battle again. Let's battle again. Woo, man! I got
you
my
ready
shit pushed
to
in.
front the bill because you you already fucked me. You might as well buy me dinner.
Some food, yeah.
Nah, he's the type that's like, come on, I'm buying. Let's do this.
God, that's even worse.
Islanders, Mutiny Teddy. I apologize. Oh, fuck. I wasn't sure what the descriptor was. I'm ignorant.
No, but you're not wrong though. Like I'm weirdly salty about how happy my rival is.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Is he even a rival? Because I mean, he picks like the Pokemon that
is weak.
A weak against you. So it's just
yours.
like I'm just gonna one shot you every time.
I think that was because
they wanted to make it easier for kids.
No. It's just because you start off with your type move. Every other starter, you level up once or twice before you get like Ember, before you get, whatever grass type move you get, before you get Water Gun.
Yeah, that grass move is weird as shit. I don't know what it is.
It's like an Ember version.
Yeah. You shoot little green balls out that I guess are like nature. I don't know.
Nature power.
I don't know.
Grass.
Yeah.
Balls of grass.
Apparently it hurts though because it fucks shit up sometimes. Yeah, that move ticks me off. I don't get it. I know Pokemon games aren't meant to make sense, but like I have like a mental model for how the world works, and shooting grass, like more so than Ember, makes even less sense, which is hard because.
I mean, what about like other moves though, like Ghost, like shooting Ghost at you, like.
That makes sense.
What about Fairy? I'm gonna like shoot Fairy at you.
Oh no, that works for me.
He's been
what about Dark?
Many
I'm
times.
gonna shoot Dark at you. I don't know what that is.
I'm scared of the dark. It's gonna fuck me up. Although, to be fair, if I turn a flashlight off at you, it should not hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rival is super happy. The professor is super good. Even the bad guys are like, these
God,
like hip-hop.
They're really cool.
Yeah, they're
Yo,
funny.
What are you doing? I can't believe what's going on.
You guys are square. We're gonna steal your Pokemon now. You ready, squares? Oh, you beat us? No one gotta know about this. We don't want your square Pokemon anyway. And then they walk away, and it's like, why is MC Hammer trying to steal my Pokemon?
They are the best team ever so far. I really like them. They're
I put
really
down
funny.
the DS for 5 minutes and just
Are you
watched
joking?
them
They're
do this
Yeah,
for 5
they're hilarious.
minutes.
like really read what they're saying. It's so funny.
Oh boy!
Just every time they come on screen, I'm just like laughing because of what they say. It's just really funny.
Yeah, so that's one thing I do like is that Pokemon, like everything is quirky enough that I feel it more. Mother 3 is a game that oozes style and aesthetic, and Pokemon has always been something that's been right on the hinge of like having its own world that I feel comfortable and happy existing in. I think that Sun and Moon did it 100%. X and Y were there. Like X and Y felt atmospheric and they kind of lost it towards the end of the game, but like X and Y were there. Sun and Moon so far has been nothing but like quirk, happiness, and charm the whole way through, except for beating up the children at the training school. That felt a little weird. You like corner that girl. She's like standing by the locker. She's like, "You're gonna get that close to me and not fight me?" And I'm like, "You're like 4. You want me to fight you in the corner of this building?" So,
and the teacher, right? I didn't know that fucking Ellie could heal you. So yeah. I had to run back to the goddamn Poke Center, right? But I go up to the teacher because she called me after I beat like the best kid. You know, I'm like, she's gonna ask to fight me. I just know it. But like an ass, I just go up there anyway. You know, with an almost wiped team because I just wasn't ready for a Grimer.
Oh, that Grimer was really hard.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but my Litten, like his defense looks ass. Terrible. That's
just him. He's not that defensive.
Fucking like one-shotted me.
I got poisoned like immediately, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm poisoned." Yeah. And then I had to like switch out and then heal and then switch back in.
But so my team's almost wiped, and I don't know what she has because this fight was strangely difficult. So I go up to her and talk to her like, "Yeah, you wrecked all my students. That's great. Now you gotta fight me. Are you ready?" No. Hold on a sec. And then the almost frustration in her voice, like, "What? You're not gonna fight me? That's fucking ass. You know how much experience you get for fucking, you know, picking a fight with me?" He's like, "Whoa, calm down. Everyone's so intense. Everyone's set to 110, and I don't know how to stop them. I don't necessarily know that I want to, but everyone's at like 110.
You gotta go to 120, dude.
Oh, fuck. I can't.
You gotta just power level, like grind the level 7s or whatever until you're like 20 levels above everything.
Right. One shot them. See how
Come
they like it.
I mean, that's pretty much what's happening now. I'm past everything, and it's just one-shotting. Sorry, guys.
But it is nice, though, that the XP share works the way it works.
Yeah, it's really nice. There's no drawback.
Yeah.
And
so you don't lose experience when you use it? It's just...
No, you just give half experience to your whole party every time.
Yeah.
So before it would actually, like, if you put it on, it would take, like, half of the experience that your main Pokemon got and, like, give it to, you know, the other one or something like that. It was like
the Pokemon that got the murder would forfeit half of its experience.
Basically, that's how it was before, like a while ago.
And now it just takes half the experience and just also happens to distribute it.
Yeah, I think so.
I've got some like
no. So the murderer gets the full, and then you copy half the value, and then you distribute it equally amongst all surviving members in your party.
Okay, that makes sense. I've got this really horrifying image of like electrodes in every Pokemon's brain that are just pumping data and information into their heads, and like they're all just like jaded, staring at these television screens showing them the fight over and over again.
This is how experience share works.
You know, you think about it, it's like this really horrifying. We were just talking about Star Wars with the clones. Like that's how they made the clones, is like just like blitz them with this horrifying war information until they're broken. That's what we're doing to our Pokemon. I want Pokemon to be fucked up. I just want it to be terrible and like awful because it's right on the hinge of like shit is terrible, is bad here. Like when you read the Slowpoke description, like we eat Slowpoke tails. Are there Slowpoke farms? They just have giant saws that roll around and claw off Slowpoke tails, and they just like keep them chained up inside.
Like they would give a fuck. Would be like, slow? Oh shit, my tail, I guess. Whatever.
Look, I'm not saying Slowpoke would know. I'm just saying it's still a little fucked up if you think about it.
I'm not disagreeing that it's fucked up or not. I'm just letting you know that I'm sure they don't care.
You remember, so you're in the city, you see that like gallant and strong Tauros standing in the center of the town, you like walk up to it and stroke it, and it's a moment teaching you like, be afraid of this is stronger than you are, respect this animal because it will kill you. We eat that. Like Toros is like probably like prime beef meat that's on the mark right there.
Also,
Miltank
Miltank.
Gather their beef. Yeah.
Miltank also.
Oh yeah. Which is like what? Why? There's so much shit like. There's so much shit in the Pokemon universe that just screams like nothing should be okay. Like the ghost Pokemon that inhabits your Pokédex. Why doesn't it just go into a hospital and kill everyone? Why don't it just turn off all life support? It could do that probably. Why not? It's because Pokemon is such a happy, nice world. But if it was unhappy for a day, like Joker
If it was
style,
real.
Yeah. If Pokemon was based in reality, shit would just break down and burn immediately. Hello, Encore. Good to see you. But yeah, that's what I want from a Pokemon game. It's never going to go there, and I'm really happy it doesn't in my heart of hearts because I enjoy going to a TV and it's always talking about Malasada.
Oh yeah,
and how good it is.
It dips though. It dips into that dark place, like the first one, right? It dips into whispers of the Pokemon War, right? Lieutenant Surge being saved by his goddamn Raichu.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the reason why there's no adults. Why there's only kids. It's because all the adults were fucking murdered.
How's it going in Como?
X and Y, dipped into it even harder, right? With the fact that you get Y, and all you hear the entire way through the story, right, is that, oh yeah, every 1,000 years it just harvests all life on the planet, and it's fine, and it goes to sleep.
Just shows up,
whatever.
Just milks the universe of its life. I guess that would be, like, I don't know if I'd be okay living in a world that was, like, fundamentally kind and nurturing, but ultimately only existed to, like, groom us to then be consumed later on. Like in Mass Effect, like, the Reapers come after like humanity is spread out through the stars and they just kill everything, and that's their like goal, is to just kill everything after it's grown.
Whoa! If you're gonna bring in Mass Effect, you gotta get right. The final bullshit canon for Mass Effect. No, you started. Don't even give me that goddamn look. You piece of shit. No.
Can't do anything.
The first
Good luck.
humanoids, the first intelligent humanoids created the Reapers as their ultimate AI companions, and we're told you need to make sure that the AI menace does not kill us. And their response was, well, I guess we're going to kill you to save you, because you can't die if you're dead. So they harvest them, and that's what happens, and then they exit the galaxy, right? And then life starts back up. They get AI, and like, well, AI is going to usurp you, so we're going to harvest you. Oh, right, because that's how they explained it away, which was being harvested and consumed, and thus existing as part of our collective, is probably worse than you just dying outright to war against AI. So that's what we're going to do, and that's why it's better. That's why every 10,000 years, once that timer rolls by, we're going to come back in, harvest you, add you to the collection, we're going to leave. And keep doing that over and over again. Ad infinitum.
Yeah, that's really disturbing to me. If, like, we were all just pawns so a Pokemon could come back every 1,000 years and eat us, was the point that was originally on the chessboard of that conversation, but then separated by a divide of Mass Effect.
It does make me wonder, though.
Isn't that what Jesus is going to do to us?
Oh, shit.
Is he going to divide us?
Oh, he's going to take the rapture. That's what the rapture is.
All of his followers and just devour them. That'd be terrifying. Mecha Jesus
God.
shows up in Tokyo, starts at a church, and just eats everyone's soul.
No. We had a conversation where he was absolutely sitting in the cave and he was making meth.
Oh, yeah. Jesus is actually just sitting in the cave making meth, and they're going to go
for
back.
those 3 days?
For the 3 days. And they show up, and they're like, they roll the roll back, and he's like in his underwear with the RV from Breaking Bad, and Pinkman's there. And the drug dealers show up, and they do the red phosphorus thing, and it's like Breaking Bad, but, in Jerusalem.
I forgot. I just reminded myself why that came to be, and it was because we were talking about why there was meth in GTA that was worth $20,000. And it was because it was the meth that Jesus cooked up while in the cave for 3 days.
Yeah. GTA is a surprisingly fun game. I'm like really happy that we decided to do that this last week. Also, I fucking suck at it. Like, I'm so bad. Like, worse than usual at GTA than I am at other games, which is impressive because I'm not fantastic at other games. But yeah, that was fun. I think Brian lost it. Brian broke. He like stormed out He's so mad because we were just that close to finishing a mission, and my plane just went ape and killed me.
Went ape. Nothing to do with the fact that you were trying to fly.
It just started
on a
like flipping out.
goddamn fucking mouse and keyboard. Like, oh, let me just fucking scroll to the right with mouse acceleration probably on. Whoops, I'm upside down now.
I don't have mouse acceleration. I'm not that much of a scrubber.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you feel.
A lot of things, mostly sun and moon. So yeah, I guess we touched upon this earlier. I'm gonna make you say it again because that's what we do on the podcast. So you're someone who plays Pokemon because you like the competitive aspect of it.
Mostly.
How is the? Do you think the story's getting in the way of that? Do you like the story so far? You mentioned that you like the story.
I think the story is always just like something you have to do in order to just get to the competitive aspect after.
Yeah.
So it's not really bad because it's new. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of just enjoying it.
Cool.
And I usually just worry about like breeding after. So I'll just like beat the game and not worry about too much stuff. And then after I will, get a Ditto and start just going to town on getting the perfect
on that Ditto.
Let's let that Ditto out real hard.
Yeah.
Nice and juicy like.
But if anyone, is listening that's playing and you haven't got your Greninja yet, make sure you try to get the right nature because you can't actually breed it. And if you get the wrong nature, then you're kind of screwed unless you get a new one. So I would strongly recommend Timid, but you can probably do like Modest or something. But Timid is like
the pinnacle.
At the end of the day, speed is king. So when you're fighting competitively, the one who has the more speed usually wins.
Yeah.
In terms of for Greninja, he's a glass cannon, so he needs to go first, and he has no defenses. So if he goes second, he's dead.
Well, what's the move that makes it so the slower Pokemon attacks first?
What's the move?
Yeah, it's like an environmental.
Oh, Trick Room.
Trick Room, yeah. So I know a lot of builds that revolve around Trick Rooms.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Well, that works too.
Yeah. That would be that. I guess that would just. But that's that's saying all right. We've got a worse Greninja, but we'll play around it. You're saying get the best Greninja, and then deal with the strategy stuff later.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Greninja is one of those. He already has natural high speed.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to get also the one that comes with the demo is already max EV trained in speed, and also has 31 IV points in speed. So they want you to he's supposed to be a speed monster.
Yeah.
So just get the speed nature and then minus attack, and then just you could fix that EV points later.
You're gonna special attack anyway.
Yeah. So
how do you determine what the EVs are?
For the Greninja, they're already set because it came set in the demo. They already gave you an EV trained Greninja. But basically, what you do is you fight Pokemon that have that specific stat that they give you. So if you fight a Wingull or something, if you kill him, he'll give you 1 EV point in speed. So you just keep killing him until you have, I think it's 252 is the max speed. So you do 252 into speed, and then you do 252 into special attack, and you have to find the Pokemon that gives you the special attack EV point. And then there's ways to increase it, like Pokerus gives you double, Macho Brace gives you double, and then there's ones that give you more. And then back in the old games, you could do the Horde, so you can get 40 EV points in one swipe. Wow. So it went really quick to EV train stuff.
Does it require a level up following? Does it require you to level up following all that training, or can you hit the cap and then train?
If you hit the cap, you mean if you hit the EV cap and then train?
No, hit the level cap.
Well, if you hit the level cap, you're going to be EV capped, unless you just did 100 rare candies. Because rare candies don't give you any EV points. Right. If you did 100 rare candies, then you would have 0 EV points when you got to 100. And then at that point, you could start EV training, and then you get the stats after.
Oh, so literally what you would do is you would breed out this Pokemon that has the right nature that you want, and is lined up there, and then you would take it out in the wilderness, and you would find a specific Pokemon and kill that Pokemon, and if you're not finding that Pokemon, you'd run away. Yeah. And that's all. You just do that 220 plus times. Or
less. There's ways to speed it up. But yeah, if you guys are interested, look up how to EV train and how to do it properly and what natures are good. I say speed natures are the best. Well, it depends on the Pokemon. For Greninja specifically, he's really speed dependent, so you want to go max speed.
Mm-hmm.
So timid would be the best.
Yeah. Well, and Pokemon breeding is, if it's not something that I sound like such a bitch talking about this, but like Pokemon breeding, if you haven't done it, is like surprisingly fun. Like getting a good Pokemon out of a breed is a very satisfying thing to happen, just because it requires so much like work, and it's very passive work. Like it's the kind of thing that you set up and you just start doing it, and you can do it like whenever you're playing the game otherwise, or you can just, if you have eggs, you can just run around the dumb circle and X and Y, and that's a good way to do it. And so it's just something to like be doing in the background. I feel like it's like Softcore Eve, because Eve is a game you can't actively play. It's a game you kind of put on and then just let happen, and then you go back to it and you say, oh, my ship's blown up. Well, not to say Eve is bad, just it's that kind of thing. So Pokemon breeding actually like really fun, and I think extends the Pokemon games like a lot. Like,
I don't know about that, man. Longer. For me, like breeding is like, it's a grind. You just sit there and you're just like, okay, I got 5 eggs. Hopefully one of these are good, and if they're not, release them all. Yeah. And then you just do it again. 5 eggs. Hopefully one of these is good. They're not, release them all. And you just do that over and over again until you have a perfect one. And then once you have a perfect one, then it's like, finally, I can train this guy and I can go be better competitively. And really, that's the end game for me, at least, is like breeding to get a better competitive team. So it's really fun. I mean, like, I have a friend that I used to play competitively with, and like that was one of the most fun times I've had playing Pokemon, because he would, like, I was stomping him, and then he actually got a good team, and then he started beating me, and I was like, okay, I actually have to change my strategy now. So I started like getting all these different Pokemon, and like at that point, it's just like, okay, now I have to breed new Pokemon because my strategy's not working. And then it was just, it's at that point, it's kind of fun getting a new Pokemon, but like when you're just like doing the long breed grind, like to get perfect IV points, then it's kind of a bitch.
Not your thing.
So
no.
How much is the influence breeding and IV training, EV training? How much does that push a win condition?
Oh, it's
as opposed
insane.
To strategy. So if I go in and I'm like a master Pokemon player, but my team is just not garbage, but just like whatever I picked up, right? Like I've got the right moves, I've got the right, calculations for everything, but I didn't care about IV and EV. If I went up against someone who was decent at Pokemon but had the perfect Pokemon in terms of stats,
without like extremely outplaying them, your team will get swept.
Yeah, okay. Probably. Especially if they have something that's like decently good.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you were like a casual Pokemon player, like that were good but had shit Pokemon, my Greninja could probably kill one shot every single one of your Pokemon. Because not only would it be stronger, it's also faster. So you would not be able to outspeed it. You would, if you got one hit on it, you might kill it, but there's always Focus Sash, which prevents a one-hit KO.
Yeah.
And then that gives me basically 2 lives. So.
And that's one Pokemon.
Yeah.
On a team that is probably fully EV trained.
EV trained, yeah. It's ridiculous. It really is like a ridiculous amount that. So when you're like playing and it's like all 50s, everything's kind of normalized. The EV and IV points actually play like a huge role.
Got it.
So everything's kind of balanced around level 50, but at the same time, like those EV points really matter. So if you actually like, you were talking about the Trick Room, which allows you slow Pokemon to be better. You could actually build a Pokemon team on just being completely slow. In that case, you'd want to like a nature that gives you worse speed.
Yeah.
So like has low speed and then don't EV train your speed at all.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
That's the kind of like team building, like deck building almost exercise that you get that Pokemon inherently has.
Got it.
That like maybe the top 10% of players have seen.
So it's kind of like the difference between me building a deck casually or me building a red and blue deck, right? And then maximizing the mana, right?
Yeah.
The lands that I've got, so that they're all, you gain 1 mountain, 1 island per tap kind of thing. Or,
Well, it's so in Pokemon, it's whatever Pokemon you find, and that's going to be what you build your team out of. But someone who's like going through to like put their team together, like they usually have an agenda. Like it's like I want this team to be a sweeping team that is like max speed. Well, it seems to be what Phil likes to do is a high speed, high special damage.
Well, because it makes sense.
Now, having some defense in there is really good. So like defensive Pokemon are actually really really good too.
Having a Pokemon that you can use to stall for a bit, so you have an opportunity to slow down the pace, because so much of that game is momentum. That's something that people plan around and will put together.
You know what I like too is like a lot of Pokemon are also viable. There's not like one specific, Pokemon that's like, oh, you must have this on your list. Like, no, you can have a team that just synergizes really well, and it's not something that's like, like, oh, these have the best stats. Like, no, if they synergize well, then you can do good. There's some Pokemon that are just naturally better than others, like with weaknesses and stuff like that. Like, electric Pokemon with like. The balloon, so they have no weakness, is usually pretty solid. But it's just like you can make anything viable if you work at it.
I see.
So that's what I like about that. So you can have a lot of customization with the different teams and stuff like that.
With the different mons.
So you want
to? Do you actually just want to jump in with Phil?
Sure.
Because we're gonna wrap pretty soon. Yeah.
So did you guys try Sombra yet?
No, it's just an AS.
No one, just an AS.
How about you?
I actually haven't tried her, but I played against her.
And
was she game breaking?
No, she's awful. I hate her.
Yeah, that's the consensus that I've heard. Every time I check on YouTube, every time.
No, like if she's on your team, you're gonna lose.
She doesn't have enough.
The general consensus in the meta is that Sombra's really bad right now.
You think about it, like what is she? She's like an assassin that goes to the back lines and assassinates someone, right? Yeah. Now think about someone like a team that's actually like on voice chat. Sombra's behind us. They all turn around, kill her, and then they turn back to whatever they're doing.
And then you're
down
a hero.
It doesn't do anything.
It's a wasted slot.
Yeah, exactly. So Sombra, like the couple times that I was doing competitive with Sombra,
there we go.
We just lost because she was on our team.
Yeah, she fucked everything
She's squishy, and I don't know. I don't know if you need like a really good player or she's just not good at all. Because I felt that she's just garbage.
I want to say that the fact that they nerfed ults in general probably killed a little bit of her viability.
Is that live? That is live, right?
But yeah,
is it 10%?
Yeah,
it's 25.
20. Oh shit!
Yeah, it's huge.
Fuck. I haven't played her competitive, but I do hit and run, but it's like.
I think in quick play she's okay because quick play is like it's just a bunch of scrubs.
Just like,
just having fun.
But but competitive, it's just like people actually know what they're doing, and usually everyone's on voice chat.
Yeah.
So like you see a Sombra, and then like one of your team, Sombra's behind us, and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 of your DPS turn around, wreck her, and then that's
it. How long has she been out? A week.
Huh. Is there an application that like lets people join like a throwaway voice chat room and then dip out
for Blizzard?
Yeah.
I mean, you have.
I guess Blizzard has like
you have the voice.
Built-in voice
yeah.
chat. Yeah.
You don't need
so they're all just talking.
The in-game voice chat. Yeah. That's usually what we use.
Yeah, I was like.
I haven't had a problem with it.
Like a competitive like.
Yeah, there's
the in-game party chat. It works. I haven't had a problem with it in almost every single competitive match. The majority of the teams in it, if not everyone. Okay. Especially when you're in like the higher rating, people actually like care about So it's nice, but at the same time, it's just some people are stubborn and they're like, oh, I want to play Sombra. It's like, dude, don't play Sombra. We're gonna lose, and then they just.
I think she hasn't been out enough time.
I don't think so. I don't think she's good. I don't know. Like she's good in quick play.
Maybe. Sure. I mean, Anna came out and she had they buffed her like fire rate, and that was it. Like she was fine. Maybe she just needs like a couple fixes.
But she does good damage. She does. Like I've seen.
And she's annoying, but it's like with the tracer, you zip in and then zip out, and you can zip in, zip out, like multiple times. You could just keep doing that over and over. And for some, it's like, okay, I'm gonna toss the teleporter. I'm gonna go invis. All right, I do damage. I teleport back. I gotta wait.
How long's the wait time?
It's like 6 seconds.
That's not so bad.
No, 6 seconds is huge in Overwatch.
No, it's like okay, you sit there and you're like, okay, so I'm looking at the health pack. I hack it again, and then you go in again. Yeah. And it's like, I didn't kill anyone. Oh, okay. Gotta go back again.
Yeah.
Even your ult doesn't do damage. It just, like, interrupts. It's like, you gotta go in and get out. Either that or, I don't know. I don't see any team comps.
It's tough.
It's kind of weird.
Because right now, she's a worse bad Tracer.
Even
right?
though people were saying like, oh, she's better than.
That's her shtick.
The T-girl.
If you say, okay, we'll just make her something that counters like heroes, like slows them down, right? Affects them in some way. Well, then that's a Mei. And we already have a Mei. And we already have a Tracer. So I think the issue right now is, what is she supposed to be?
Well, so
what is her role? What is the point? You know, if you say something like, all right, her thing is map control, right? If her hacking one health pack hacked all health packs, kind of, okay, yeah, that's probably broken. That's probably too much. But just roll with the idea, right? Where like all health packs for 5 seconds are done.
Okay.
You know, 5 seconds, like fuck, we can't
actually
map heal.
It would be really cool if the ult actually hit the health packs, because it just silences everything. So if it hit the
and
health
there
packs,
isn't something like that right now currently in over like a map control. There isn't a map control. If her teleport was instead you teleport someone else kind of thing, right? Like boop, oh shit, I'm off the fucking map.
Look,
fuck my ass.
You can do that. What you do is you play Symmetra and point your teleporter off
Perfect.
the edge.
Don't listen
for your team. Got it.
Don't listen to him.
I'm gonna do that next time.
He's trolling. Oh my god, no.
Kill the whole team.
You're gonna get banned.
But that's the kind of thing, right? Like right now, she's in a weird place where unless the way the things that she has works in a different way for a role that isn't already existing, that's better.
Have you seen her passive?
Her passive?
Yeah, you can see people that are low.
Yeah.
That's
wait,
usually,
that are
low health.
Oh.
So that's usually what I go for. It's like, oh, they're low health. I can see them through walls. Just pop them off, come back.
So there you go. Maybe it should be.
I don't know.
Maybe it should be like map control. Maybe it should be something.
No, because
she's an
or hero
character.
control.
That's what I think is happening is like. So you're talking about like archetypes. Like like each character should like do this one thing really well.
No. Okay, because McCree and McCree and Soldier 76 are the same thing, but they're different. But they both work. As in, their jobs are the same thing. They do the same thing, and they do it well, especially with the buff that 76 just got. But you pick them for different reasons. You play them in different ways.
Yeah.
If you're playing Sombra as Tracer, and what Aeneas was saying, right, where it's like, all right, lay down the teleport, you know, stealth in, go in, pop a couple shots, and then right as I get their attention, maybe hack, right as I get them to teleport back. That's Tracer. That's the thing. That's Tracer. That's what she does. Beat for beat. Minus, you know, it's just in a different way, but that's beat for beat what she does. You know, with McCree, you're doing it in a different way. You have to get kind of in their face to be more aggressive. Yeah, you can pop a couple shots from a distance, but to be really good, you go in, you roll in, you stun, fan the hammer, one guy's obliterated type of thing. That's one way.
You just gotta be good. You just gotta be a good shot. The best McCrees I've just seen, they're single shot every time, and they're just gotta be good shots.
Yeah.
You just gotta be like really good with your mouse. You gotta be accurate.
Yeah. So
like the best McCrees are just like boom, boom, boom. One guy dead. Boom, boom, boom. Another guy dead. Boom, another guy dead. And it's just like this guy's ridiculous.
Nuts, yeah.
Especially if you land the headshots.
And it's like if you try and move on him, that's fine. He'll
So
stun
he's,
you, and then
like the better the player, the better you know. He's the more the reward.
Yeah, but I think getting back, you know, to the point about like, you know, characters will do these things, but also have like differences in the application of the thing they're trying to do. For me, Tracer is about annoyance. She'll kind of zip back and forth. So then the team is like, okay, we have to look at this Tracer now, and they turn to focus on the Tracer. The rest of the team is able and allowed to go and cause the problems in a different way. For me, I guess Sombra is more like we're trying to kill or disable, in a sense. I think the disable is terrible. I don't know, like turning off abilities. Yeah,
it's kind of like depending on the hero you turn off. You're like, maybe you're trying to get the objective, and you're like, oh, I'm hacked. Fuck. And you were trying to, I don't know, boost or like fly off.
Yeah.
Because you're Pharah or whatever.
But I have this image of like turning off a Reinhardt shield, and then I'm alone in a room with Reinhardt.
And he can swing at you.
I mean, usually when Reinhardt has his shield up,
he's protecting.
The team is right behind him.
Yeah.
So if you turn his shield off, like everyone's gonna turn around and just be like, "You're dead." Instantly.
Well, you can just eat back instantly.
Difficult also because right now, I saw a video last night that was talking about how the meta right now is a little weird because there's a lot of damage going through. The damage aspect of the game has gone up. Offensively, the game is up. and then we're talking specifically about things like the fact that 76 was buffed in terms of damage. Just that alone, for example, is melting Reinhardt shields. Like, it's a totally different... For defense right now, you have to play differently. Again, this is some other guys' opinions, right? So take it with a grain of salt. You know, it has to be...
We ain't pros. Yeah.
It has to be something that we experience or that you experience personally, but they're talking about how the strategy of, all right, we're going to hole up here and just hold the objective, right? And that's going to work. It's harder now because the offense got boosted.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to
more damage.
Because, for example, Ana, you have to be smarter about it. You have to actually make it count. So now the offense is really high. So now they're melting the defense, and you can't do that. The defense has to play more...
aggressively?
No, what's the word? It happened in Vietnam. Guerrilla, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Guerrilla defense. Where you have to, like, all right,
everyone
needs to play
New hero, just dig trenches.
If you poke your head up for a second, you're dead, kid.
Like, you can't hold the hallway because you're just going to get melted and you're just going to be feeding kills. You have to, all get ready, come in and defend aggressively. You have to counter offense with an offense right now.
Okay.
Type of thing. So, in an environment like that, hero control is hard because if primaries are doing work... What's the point of your abilities? If I'm like, all right, I can't fly, fuck it, rockets, right? What? I can't roll. I don't give a fuck. I'm a good shot. That's right. I'm not mobile as a Genji. Whatever. I'm just gonna toss these shuriken.
Yeah. So for you, it'd be like turning off damage is more important, or like reducing damage is more important than shutting.
No, because I haven't played Overwatch since the patch came out, right? So I don't know if the damage is like, wow, I'm dying a lot faster now. This is ass.
Now that I think about it, it's like a very shitty stun. The hack is just like a very shitty stun.
Yeah.
Because if you stun someone, okay, they can't do anything, but if you hack them, they can just turn around and shoot you, and that's it. If they're a better shot, it's over.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe change Sombra to, instead of hacking your ability, she hacks your body. Right?
So you can take over it.
You can run off a ledge, but it kills you too.
And then you can make Overwatch porn in-game while you're playing Overwatch.
No.
Oh, boy.
Blizzard. No.
But just kind of the thing where it's like, you get inside of like the Rhine, like, I'm just going to turn the shield around the other way. It's like, what the fuck?
What if you invert controls? If you hack someone?
Right. Just something.
That'd be cool as fuck.
What if someone got good at that? Then there would be no...
No point, yeah.
But that split second, because the split second where you're like, shit, up is down now, is enough where...
It'll fuck you up. Yeah. It'll fuck you up. Like, oh, gotta go.
Even if you're good at the inverted, even if you play inverted at
What if you're not moving and then they hack you and you're just like, okay, I'm not going to move. I'm just
then that's the situation. But if you're like...
it inverts the mouse too?
That's why. It's like, if like...
if you're Reinhardt and you're just holding your shield and you get hacked, you're not going to move around. You're just going to, left and right.
But that's a Reinhardt. Imagine like a McCree who's trying to like trace down Farah, right? It's like, fuck, shit.
Well, so the thing is, that's a very combat, like, this person's currently engaging in a fight and I need to shut down their ability to engage in that fight. You go in and you do that. But the issue is that typically when that's going on, it's a team engagement. And if there's a team engagement, probably going to be covered. I like the idea. I really do.
Yeah.
But that's why the ult would be fucking terrifying. Yeah. If you've got the 6 people right there and she goes in and she pops and everyone's like, shit, I can't aim. I'm ass right now. That would be
amazing.
It doesn't affect Winston. It doesn't affect...
Right, but that's why it'd be okay. That's why it wouldn't be broken. Because not everyone suddenly gets turned off. Because a split second is enough for a good team to make a difference. Because, if you're a good player, you should be able to say,
rip through everyone. Thanks, Bastion.
Skill mode. Please, no.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap.
Pokemon. Oh, whatever.
Too late.
I know.
I want to be the best.
I thought I forgot it on my sister's car, but no. Because I left my bag in the other car.
To beat all the rest.
Did you get to play it at all?
No, it's here.
Okay.
I got my starter, and then that's it.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for coming to the Skill Floor podcast. I'm Matthew.
Rez Ann.
And yes.
Phil.
And as always, we do this every week. Let us know if you like the shorter format podcasts. Thanks everyone, and bye.
Have a nice night. I have to go get up, so you might as well keep beatboxing into that mic.
How long did you guys go for? An hour
22.
Oh,
since 9.
That's right, because we start. See you running right.